Welcome again, everybody, in part 2, Unit 9, Agri Education. In this part, we are going to speak about Charlotte Bronte and Jane Eyre, her novel. Before we start, let's go through the literature circle, which consists of 5 parts: word wizard, connector, discussion leader, illustrator, summarizer. And I think they are at your home, you should work together. Why? Not to spend much time in doing something, though it's useful, but it's really tutoring for yourself and as a waste of time. But if you work as a group, you are improving your team skills and sparing your effort, your time in doing something more beneficial for you. Okay, now let's watch a movie about Bronte personage in Haworth, where Charlotte Bronte lived. About the place where Charlotte Bronte lived and her sisters. She lived in Haworth, Yorkshire. The British government turned the places where her famous figures lived into museums for the youth to know where their idol lived, how they lived, the places they originally took some time of their lives, and the thing that they used at their time. For example, if you noticed in the movie, you have watched that the disc that Charlotte Bronte used to write her stories upon. Also, you have watched that some of her clothes. Okay, so let's speak about some quotes from Jane Eyre. The first one is, "Every atom of your flesh is as dear to me as my own. In pain and sickness, it would still be dear." How passionate lover Jane is. She loved her man until the end of the story, where she married him. Second one, "I'm no bird, and no net ensnares me. I'm a free human being with an independent will." She accepts to travel to India with John, but she refuses to marry him. Okay. Third one, "Remorse is the poison of life. Try to enjoy life, try to live it, try to overcome your sadness and agony." Last one, "Let your performance do the thinking. Deeds speaks louder than words." Please, before going on, try to read carefully, learn your vocab, comprehend the incidents, answer questions, watch the movie, and make your own presentation. Charlotte Bronte was born in 1816 and died in 1855. She's an English novelist. She was a teacher and governess. She lived in Haworth, Yorkshire. She is the eldest of her sisters. They were poets and novelists. Let's watch the trial of the movie.
Do you know, Jane Eyre, where the wicked go after death?
They go to hell.
And what is hell?
Where are you, Ran?
If you don't sit still, you will be tied down.
A pit full of fire.
Should you like to fall into this pit and be burned there forever?
People think you are good, but you are hard-hearted.
Get out. Children, I exhort you to withhold the hand of friendship to Jane Eyre.
This is a grand old house, but it can feel a little dreary. Mr. Rochester's visits are always unexpected.
Your gaze is very direct, Miss Eyre. Do you think me handsome?
No, sir.
You're afraid of me.
I'm not afraid. I was not asleep. I know what I saw.
It must have been half dream, half reality. You transfix me quite.
What am I to do then?
You rare unearthly thing. I must have you for my own.
You're so little acquainted with men. Keep him at a distance. Miss Ingram's coming. She's a great favourite of his.
Floating gently in the stream of life. Unaware of the rocks ahead waiting to dash you to pieces.
Do you think that because I am poor, obscure, plain and little, that I am soulless and heartless?
Jane! Jane!
Everything seems unreal. You, sir, are most phantom-like of all.
Jane.
Deep in Jane Eyre as a story, she was a young orphan being raised by her aunt, Mrs. Reed. She was cruel but wealthy. She imprisoned her in the Red Room after fighting with her son, John Reed, but he was pulling to Jane. Percy, the servant, tells her stories and songs. Mr. Brocklehurst, the school's headmaster, was a cruel, hypocritic, and abusive man. I think he looks like Mr. Brockwell. Okay, an Oliver Twist. She spends 8 years in Loud, 6 as a student, but 2 as a teacher. Jane finds that her life is far from idyllic at the Lowood school, so she looked for another job as a governess at a manor called Thornfield, where she teaches a lively French girl named Adele. Rochester keeps Bertha hidden on a 3rd story of Thornfield and pays Grace Poole to keep his wife under control. She was insane, and she was the reason for the mysterious fire early in the story. Jane accepts Rochester to propose to Blanche, but Rochester instead of proposes to Jane, who accepts almost disbelievingly. Jane and Rochester prepare to exchange their vows. The voice of Mr. Mason cries out that Rochester already has a wife. He was her brother. Manson introduces himself as the brother of that wife, a woman named Bertha, the insane one. Penniless and hungry, Jane is forced to sleep outdoors and beg for food. No one accepts Jane to live with him. But St. John decides to travel to India as a missionary priest, and he urges Jane to accompany him as his wife, but she refuses to marry him, but she accepts to go with him to India. She saves Rochester from a fire one night, which he claims was started by a drunken servant named Grace Poole. Rochester lost his eyesight and one of his hands. Jane travels on to Rochester's new residence in Fendon. Rochester and Jane rebuild their relation and soon marry again, and regain sight in one eye, and was able to behold their first son at his birth. To give you a chance to read the next passage, and then it's followed by some questions. Go ahead. story or the snapshot of the story. Let's go for the questions. Have a look, and I'm waiting for your answers on our group. I'm waiting for your answers, guys. Don't forget it. Let's go for the second part of testing your understanding. It's a multiple choice, okay? It's like exit ticket. Have a look. For those who send me the answers, I'll send him the link for the movie to watch it. Okay?
Do you know,
It's
Jane
a
Eyre,
film.
where the wicked
See you.
go after
Bye bye.
death?
They go to hell.